A mechanic quoted you $80. You spent 6 hours in the driveway doing it yourself, and you would make that choice again every single time. The people who don't understand this will say it makes no sense, and they are right. It doesn't make financial sense. It doesn't make practical sense. It makes a completely different kind of sense. And understanding that difference tells you something important about the human brain. It tells you why humans are wired to need more than just results. They need to be the cause of them. This is not stubbornness. This is not pride in the negative sense. This is something the brain genuinely needs, something that a check written to a mechanic can never fully replace. What that feeling actually is has a name, and once you know it, you will see it everywhere. The feeling is called self-efficacy, and it is one of the most powerful psychological forces in human behavior. Self-efficacy is not confidence. It is something more specific. It is the felt belief that your actions produce real outcomes, not that things will work out, that you specifically made them work out. When you hand money to a mechanic, the car gets fixed, but you were not the agent of that outcome. Someone else diagnosed it. Someone else solved it. You just paid for the result. The brain registers that differently, deeply differently. Psychologist Albert Bandura spent decades studying this. His finding was simple. People who believe their actions matter take more action, and they recover faster when things go wrong. The garage is where that belief gets built, one fixed problem at a time. But there is a second force operating here, one that goes even deeper. Researchers call it the IKEA effect, and it changes how the brain assigns value. When you build something yourself, your brain inflates its value beyond what it is objectively worth. The same car fixed by a mechanic and fixed by your own hands is not the same car to your brain. Your labor is inside it now, your hours, your frustration, your solution. Michael Norton at Harvard studied this with furniture. People loved what they built, regardless of quality. A badly assembled shelf was loved more than a professionally built one because they made it. Now apply that to a car, to something you depend on, to something you already have a relationship with. The hours under that hood do not just fix the car, they deepen the bond with it. But there is something else happening in the garage that has nothing to do with the car at all. Think about what the modern world looks like for most people most days. Emails that lead to meetings, that lead to reports, that lead to more emails. Outcome invisible. For most of human history, work had a visible result. You made something, you fixed something, you could see it. The brain evolved expecting that feedback loop. Work goes in, visible result comes out. When that loop is missing, the brain carries a low-level hunger for it always. The garage feeds that hunger. The car, broken, then running, is the most honest feedback a brain can receive. Not a performance review, not a quarterly metric. The engine runs or it doesn't. In a world built on subjective evaluation, that clarity is almost radical. Now add the layer that most people completely overlook. Who taught you this? For most people who fix their own cars, there was someone, a father, an uncle, a neighbor. They didn't give you a class. They handed you a wrench and waited to see what you'd do. That moment transmitted something that had nothing to do with cars. It transmitted a philosophy. Problems are not things that happen to you. They are things you happen to. That philosophy does not stay in the garage. It goes everywhere the person goes. Into their relationships, their work, the way they respond when something stops working. There is also the element of time. Fixing a car cannot be rushed. Sequences must be followed. Torque specifications exist for real reasons. Skip a step and the problem returns. In a world addicted to shortcuts, the garage teaches an increasingly rare lesson. Some things have their own timeline. Now think about what this person has actually built. Not the car, something inside themselves. Every problem they solved in that garage is now evidence that they can figure things out. Not from a book, not from a course, from their own hands and their own patience. That evidence does not expire. It does not become obsolete. It sits inside them permanently. And this is what people on the outside misread. They see someone being difficult, refusing to pay someone, being stubborn, wasting their weekend over something trivial. What they're actually watching is someone reinforcing their fundamental belief in their own capability, someone who refuses to outsource their own agency to anyone, even for $80. There's a phrase that people who fix their own cars say that reveals everything. They don't say, "I fixed the car." They say, "I figured it out." Fixing is about the car, figuring out is about themselves. That shift is everything. The next time someone spends 6 hours on something they could have paid $80 for, you know what you're watching. You're not watching someone be stubborn, you're watching someone practice the oldest form of self-belief available to them, with their hands, in their driveway on a Saturday. And when that engine starts, when it catches and runs because of what they did with their own hands, something gets confirmed that no paycheck and no performance review has ever been able to confirm. That they are capable, that they can figure things out, that the world gives way when you stay with it long enough. If this made you think about the last thing you fixed yourself and why it mattered, subscribe to Wheel Psyche. Every week we go deeper into the psychology behind what car people do and who it makes them. The grease doesn't wash off easily, neither does what it builds.